can I just remind you today that God has not called you, no matter what your giftedness, no matter where you're shortfalling, no matter if you think you're good enough or smart enough or pretty enough or skinny enough or fat enough or rich enough or poor enough, no matter what it is that you think might be your shortcoming or what it is that you think might be the big thing about you that would draw people to you, no matter what it is about you that you think disqualifies you from the call of God, God's call on your life is not primarily to accomplish something, but to become something. In 1 Kings chapter 11, in 1 Kings chapter 9, God comes to Solomon a second time, right after the dedication of the temple, just to give him an attaboy, just to give him a pat on the back, just to remind him of the vision. Remember Solomon, remember your father David, remember how much I loved him, and remember that you will never cease to have a son on the throne of Israel so long as your heart is totally devoted to me. As long as your heart is mine, Solomon, this is all good. Solomon, you've done a great job. Just keep pushing forward. Solomon, you've done everything I've asked. Just keep moving forward. Solomon, you are who it is that I'm making you to be. Just keep walking with me. And then 2 chapters later, God comes to Solomon again in chapter 11, around verse 9. But this time he's not coming to encourage him. This time he's not coming to remind him. This time he's coming to rebuke him. Verse 9 of chapter 11 simply says this, "And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice, and they commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he did not keep what the Lord had commanded him." Because of this, God would go on to tell Solomon simply this, that out of respect for your father David, I am not going to remove you from the throne, but your son will never sit upon your throne. What if maybe, just maybe, the very thing that you think keeps you from being someone God could use is the very reason God desires to use you? What if God is not so much concerned with your ability to discipline yourself, to be smart enough, to be passionate enough? What if God is not so much concerned about your follow-through and your obedience as he is about your heart? What if God's desire for your life, what if God's plan for your life does not start with a thing he wants you to accomplish, but with a person he wants you to become? What if the thing that matters most to God is not your resume, but your heart? What if God is really calling you? With all of your past, all of your sin, all of your shortcomings, all of your failures, all of your fears, all of our lists of reasons of why I couldn't do that. What if God is calling you? Because Solomon would look years later, reflecting on his life as he wrote in Proverbs, and he would write to his son these words in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. He'd say this, "Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all of your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight." You see, we can stand back and we can look at Solomon's life and we can ask, what in the world went wrong? This guy had all the tools. This guy had everything you would need. If I could make out a list of everything I thought would be important in my life to have for me to accomplish God's mission, he had all of it. He had everything. But the thing that Solomon forgot was that God was more concerned about his heart than he was about his resume.